The Ken Murray Show, brought to you by Budweiser. Anheuser-Busch Incorporated of St. Louis, Missouri, makers of Budweiser, the world's most famous beer, brings you your host for the evening, Hollywood's ambassador to New York, Ken Murray.
Thank you very much. Good evening. Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Budweiser Show. We've got a whole hour of wonderful entertainment planned.
Just a minute. This happens to be the Ken Murray Show. What are you doing here, Robert?
Just a minute, boy.
Lewis.
Just a minute, boy. I work alone.
Yeah.
And we have a wonderful hour of entertainment planned.
I happen to be Ken Murray, and if you don't mind, I'll take over. After all, what would the Ken Murray Show be without Ken Murray?
You know, I don't know, but it might start a whole new trend in television.
Now, Bob, you and I are good friends a long time. Tell me exactly why you're here.
I'll tell you why I'm here, Ken. I'll tell you two folks. You know, we've been doing the show goes on Thursday nights.
Oh, yeah.
And come next June 16th, that's 2 weeks from tonight, we move into Saturday night time, 9:30 New York time.
9:30?
That's right. I wanted to see how it felt to work on a Saturday night.
Oh, what's the name of your show?
It's called The Show Goes On.
Of course.
For American Safety Razor, you know.
Yes,
Silver
I
Star
have seen
Blade.
it many times. ASR. Isn't that what they call them?
That's
Yes.
right.
How long you been on?
We've been on, about 2 years, Ken, and now we're going to, replace the second half of Frank Sinatra.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know there was enough of Sinatra to make two halves.
Yeah, but incidentally, I've been looking around the show here, Ken.
You like it?
You know, you've got a wonderful... Those Glamour are lovely.
Are they pretty?
Yeah, I got to listen. You see this magazine here? The television and screen guy?
Advanced copy.
They've got a picture of you and all the Glamour lovely.
Yes,
here.
is that right?
That's really...
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't that funny? See that picture in the middle? It took me 3 hours to make it with the girls.
Yeah.
That was really a back-breaking job, that one there.
What a beautiful way to break your back. Yeah.
But listen, this is fine, but what are you doing?
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight on this Budweiser show, we'd like very much
Well, look, explain something to me. What are you doing here now at this moment? I mean, after all, you told about...
You know I replace people.
You replace?
Have you looked at your contract lately?
What's that?
What do you mean, what's that? A contract?
You mean you might replace me?
You might very well happen. As a matter of fact, I got some ideas for this show, Ken, that you will not believe.
Well, how would you start
How would
the
I
show?
start a brand new way? I would open in the most fabulous corner in the world.
Yeah?
Hollywood and Vine, where anything can happen and usually does. Come on over here with me.
Now, what would you do now?
At the opening of the show, I would have people walking across like they were on the street and have funny things that they would say.
Is that right?
I wrote some things here.
Have you wrote them?
Yeah, the kids
Here's
are all
the
there.
girl. Is she in
That's
it?
not yet. Now, here's the girl.
Yeah.
Excuse me, miss, where are you going with that jelly?
I'm going to see my boyfriend down south.
Well, down south? No, not yet, Ken.
No.
Well, why are you bringing him the jelly?
He's a Georgia cracker.
Yeah. That's clever.
We've got a fella coming on here now. I say to him, pardon me there, fella, where you headed?
Why, I got a date with a girlfriend tonight.
You got a date with a girlfriend now. Well, what are you doing with those two guys in the bathing suits?
Well, I asked her if she'd like to have me bring along some candy, and she said, yeah, bring along some lifesavers.
Yeah.
Lifesavers. Yes, that's clever.
And here's Darla Hood, ladies and gentlemen. Darla Hood, our little leading lady.
Can I say to her?
What are you doing?
What are you doing there with that necktie and the cheese?
Well, you see, it's my boyfriend's birthday.
Why in the world are you giving him a tie and some cheese?
Well, you see, I don't know whether he's a man or a mouse.
Oh,
You haven't heard a
Have you
thing
got any
yet.
more?
Anything more? Ken, how would you open the show if it was the greatest show in the world? How would you open it?
Well, you'd have to have a name singer.
You'd have to have the greatest name singer that you could find. A young boy out of Chicago from Don McNeil's Breakfast Club. I got him for you tonight.
Yeah.
Johnny Desmond.
Johnny Desmond, ladies and gentlemen.
Johnny Desmond, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
It's great to be on this show. Great to be on this
Good to have you on my show, Johnny. Good.
I don't know. I never saw him before.
Yeah.
But you look real good. You got to sing a song. How about that new MGM record, that great hit of yours?
Because of you? No, because of you.
That's because of you.
That's all right. Well, that's all. All right.
Because of you, there's a song in my heart. Because of you,
my romance had its start. Because of you, the sun will shine, the moon, the stars will say you're mine forever and never to part. I'll only live for your love and your kiss. It's paradise to be near you like this. Because of you, my life is now worthwhile, and I can smile. Because of you, because of you. Because of you, my life is now worthwhile, and I can smile because of you.
Will you stay, Johnny?
Well, wonderful.
Greg,
Wonderful.
what do you think of that for a beginning?
Fine.
Wonderful.
What would you do now?
First, I get rid of this.
Oh, yeah?
The next thing I want to... Look, Ken, you got to carry on. The next thing you got to do...
This has not been so bad. You'll see this in the next...
The next thing you got to do... You know that song of yours has been attracting so much attention?
You mean the one, the
Wide Open-
Columbia record? I like the Wide Open Spaces with Laurie Anders and Arthur
Yeah.
Godfrey. You mean that one there that I wrote? That song? What about it?
Yeah. I would do a whole production number around that. As a matter of fact, I got America's foremost dancing teacher and his wife to get a whole dance around I Like the Wide Open Spaces. Mr. and Mrs. Arthur Murray.
Well, let's see
Catherine.
them. Come on, let's see them.
Ken, let me ask you one question. Here's Catherine, here's Arthur. I got to go and get ready for my show 2 weeks from tonight. Can you carry on from
I
here?
certainly are. Let's thank Robert
Good.
Q. Lewis for getting us
Have a
started.
nice summer.
Well, Arthur and Catherine, three Murrays together tonight, huh?
Uh-huh.
It's nice
But
to
you
see.
put your arm around this one instead of the other one.
No, I'd rather have this
Oh.
one. What's the piece of thing there you got?
Well, the 6,000 Arthur Murray teachers decided that you were their favorite comedian,
Yeah.
and they asked me to present the Arthur Murray Award to you.
Well, thank you very much. Isn't that nice? That's wonderful. Well, I'm going to keep that. You know, he said something very dear to my heart. You know, first time I ever wrote a song that ever got to be a hit. Matter of fact, first time I ever wrote a song in my life. And this is I Like the Wide Open Spaces. Thanks to Laurie and Arthur Godfrey, it's getting to be a big hit. And he told me that you arranged to have a dance. You're going to teach it?
We have a dance that's made up for your show.
Are you going to teach it in all the studios?
Right now.
All over. How many studios you have?
Now,
6,000?
216 studio. No, 6,000 teachers.
6,000 teachers and 216 studios.
And they're all going to do the wide open space.
the Wide Open Spaces. How would you
What
like
I
to
want
see?
to know is, will
What's
Ken
that?
Murray stand in back of every step they do?
I certainly will. Listen, I want to tell you something. This is something really unusual. You know, Catherine has a show. I've been on her show. What is it, on Monday night, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
Monday night, and wonderful. You want to tune in and see it because she's really a swell MC and they have great acts. But this is very seldom that Mr. Murray here ever comes on any show, and I persuaded him to come on tonight, and you're going to get a real thrill. How would you like to see Mr. and Mrs. Arthur Murray dance together? All right, hit it up there.
I'm a kind that's aggravated, got trouble female kind. Like a horse that's single-gated, she's got a one-track mind. Some gals like the silks and satin, a diamond or bouquet. When I ask my gal what she likes, here's what she'll always say. I like the wide open spaces, out where the cactus grows, where two cuts beat 4 inches. I like the wide spaces. I took my gal a horseback riding, moon shining bright above. Found my arm around her slide and I started talking love. When I puckered up to kiss her, she started in to shout. And she hit me with a loaded pistol, knocking my front teeth out. I like the wide open spaces, out where the cactus grows, where two guns meet for races. I like the wide open spaces.
While they're getting the Murrays sorted out so Ken can come back and go on with the show, I'd like to tell you a little something about the home of Budweiser out in St. Louis, Missouri. Well, you can see the brew house right there through the window. Well, of course, I'm sure you know that it's the world's largest brewery. It's an immense plant, covers 70 city blocks. Yet, here's a curious thing. Right on that same spot is one of the world's tiniest breweries. That's a fact. You could contain the small brewery right in your own home. You see, all the equipment that's needed to produce Budweiser is duplicated in miniature. Little brew kettles, little fermenting tanks, aging tanks, and so on. And here, under the watchful eye of the brewmaster, ingredients are pre-tested and beer is brewed and aged. And this goes on over and over again, so that the brewing and aging of Budweiser on a large scale can go on surely and steadily. And you know, it's just such precautions as this that make each bottle of Budweiser just like your next bottle of Bud. Always uniform, always rich in quality, always rich in that distinctive taste that you find in no other beer. That's why so many people, for so many years, have been saying, "Give me Budweiser, nothing else."
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Nelson Case. Well, I got something here I want to show you. Look at this. Isn't this cute? This is our little glamour cowboy, Laurie, and as you know, she not only inspired a song, but also a doll. It's right here. It's called the Ken Murray Glamour Cowboy. He brought it over to me from the Levinson Manufacturing Company at 715 Fifth Avenue here in New York today. It's already on sale at the newsstands at Grand Central and Penn Stations, at the Union News Company, and it'll soon be in the department stores all over the country. You know, isn't it cute? You see, it's a real Western doll, and it's even got wide open spaces in the back there. Isn't that cute?
Just a minute, partner.
Oh, Laurie Anders, ladies and gentlemen. Well.
Didn't I hear a familiar expression?
Yeah, yes, you did. You mean the wide open spaces? You just try and listen to this program without hearing it at least 4 or 5 times. After all, how's your record going with Godfrey? Good?
Going just fine.
Columbia? How do you like
What's that you got there?
Well, this is called the new Ken Murray Glamour Cowboy. She looks just like you, too. Look at that.
Doggone, that's as cute as a tadpole sitting on cactus.
Look, she can even open and close her eyes just like you know.
Not like me.
No.
I never close my eyes here in New York.
No.
I don't trust them city dudes.
No, that's all right. You know, folks, Laurie gets royalty on all these dolls, so if you buy enough of them, I guarantee you that you'll even see her smile. You go ahead and smile and show them what I mean. Go ahead.
No, sir. When they start buying, I'll start smiling.
No, look, just a minute, Laurie. This little doll will be a reminder of you even after we leave town next week.
You mean you're pulling up stakes and going to hightail it out of here?
Yes, that's right. What?
Well, I've a hankering to head west. And when I get a hankering, I really hanker.
You do, huh? So you're anxious to get out of town, huh?
You spoke.
Yeah.
I'm hopping a Continental Trailways bus and heading for heaven.
Heaven.
Heaven's in Texas, you know.
Is that right? See, you're certainly loyal to Texas, aren't you, huh?
Yes, sir. I was born a Westerner, and I live like a Westerner here in New York.
What do you mean?
Well, every morning I get up and jump on my saddle and sit on the kitchen stove.
Yeah? Well, why do you do that?
I like to ride the range.
No, well, look. Well, look, if you ever ride that range bareback, watch out for the pilot light, will you? But little Laurie here, you're really a dyed-in-the-wool Westerner, aren't you, huh?
Yep, like
Yep.
here in New York.
Yeah?
I live on West End Avenue. I spend my time in Western movies, and even my toothbrush is Dr. West.
Is that right? All right, Laurie, I give up. Right now, you're going to have a chance to leave New York because we've got a great big musical number coming up here with Darla Hood and the Enchanters taking a plane and heading for Brazil.
Brazil.
Yeah, that's right. You're going to love it because Brazil is just full of cowboys.
I like the wide.
Hold on. Wait a minute. I didn't mean that as a cue. This is Brazil, Laura. That's another language. Down there they call them gauchos. Do you suppose that you could say, I like the wide open spaces in Spanish?
Well, I can try.
Well, go ahead.
Me gusto los crumbs. I like the wide open spaces.
You said it. Let's get on down to Rio. Go ahead, hit it out. There we are.
On our way to my Rio by the Sea-O, flying down to Rio where there's rhythm and rhyme.
Hey, fellers, twirl that old teller. Got to get to Rio and we've got to make time.
You know you love it,
Soaring
soaring high above it, looking down on Rio from a heaven of blue.
Get the radio to Rio de Janeiro.
Rio.
Oh, it's a big I love it, so don't go and
Stand by there, we'll fly there. Hey, Rio, everything's okay, we're
singing and winging our way to you.
Hey, Rio by the Sea-O, looking down on Rio from a heaven of blue. And the radio to Rio de Janeiro.
Rio de Janeiro.
So just stand by there and we'll fly there. Hey, Rio, everything will be okay. We're singing and winging on our way, and oh, we're singing. Let's have a day in Rio de Janeiro.
How could I?
Well, all right. Okay. Don't get tough with me, Bud. You got there. I do a little whip cracker myself, you know. Oh, you do, eh? I got my own assistant. We don't need the thing here. Come on here. Whoa! And turn around the other way. There we are. There we are. Now put it way out. Put it out. Right here. There we are. How's that? I'll go back this way a little bit more. First 4 rows, move back. Makes you nervous, huh? Think how she's feeling. Good job! You hold her, Newt. Come on over here. I want you to know, ladies and gentlemen, these are very good friends of mine. These two folks were in blackouts for about 2.5 years. The names are Harris and Shaw. Let's give them a real hand, huh? Come on over here. And I want you to also to meet at this time a young lady here that I've been meaning to have on our show for a long time. It's her first appearance, but it won't be the last, I assure you. I think the greatest Spanish dancer I've ever seen, Trini Riggs. How about her? And also, I want you to know the man that started me in show business. That's on the level. Gave me a job before I was ever in show business. Bud Carlisle and Rose. Let's give it. He was the one that taught me the whips a long, long time ago. I think I've been in show business around 5 or 6 years now. And over here is a brand new addition to our show that I think is a very lovely singer, Miss Terry Stevens. Let's give her a hand. Of course, I don't want want to forget Artland and the rest of the folks that made this a success. At this time, though, right here in the patio, I want you to meet a very exceptional act. This act, ladies and gentlemen, I made a picture with these birds. I made a picture and was fortunate enough to win a full-length feature picture. And I won an Academy Award, a picture called Bill and Coo. And this man worked with me with over 300 birds. He has 18 tonight. This is unquestionably the greatest novelty act of its kind in the world. No exceptions. Let's give him a real hand. I want you to enjoy George Burton and his lovebirds. Come on out, George. Come on this way, kid.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like you to meet my little friends. These are just a very few of the more than 300 birds that appeared in the picture Ken Murray's Bill and Coo. Perhaps you will recognize some of the characters. Now, the first little bird out, I'd like to introduce them first. These are the stars of the picture, Bill and Coo. Now, you're still anxious, aren't you, kid? But get up right, yeah. Television is all right. Get up there, will you please? And do a nice little love scene. You can miss the pat real nice, pat real cute. Oh, he's a little embarrassed there tonight. All right. But with a circus of our kind, we'd have to have horses and bareback riders. Well, here they come. It's Elmer and Teddy. Elmer, the black horse, of course, belongs to you. You can get right up on him. Teddy, you'll have to ride old Prince tonight, but I'll chase him round there for you. Now, here he is, kid. Get on your horse. You hang on tight and go round and round. Yeah, but I don't care if the merry-go-round does break down. Thank you. Because Jimmy's here and he'll push it. Jimmy, show the folks how fast you can make it go. Then maybe you can catch a ride yourself. Now, run like everything, Jim. A little faster. Next time around, slide your feet. Catch a ride. Yeah, you've got to get something out of this deal, but we don't give them very much a ride for nickel on Saturday night. You birds will have to buy another ticket, I guess. All right. Oh, Bill,